And another big crowd expected tonight at Scottrade as the Blues and Coyotes get together for the second time. Tonight's Dobbs starting goaltender Jaroslav Halak, coming off a 33-save shutout last Thursday against Calgary. Phoenix coming back with Mike Smith. He played last night in that 5-1 loss in Winnipeg. And speaking of returning, Roman Polak is back after missing 10 games with an ankle injury. And the Blues have recalled Dmitry Yashkin from Chicago. Blues hockey is brought to you by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. It is Backes, Oshie, and Schwartz against Michael Bodker, Antoine Vermette, and Shane Doan. As the Coyotes work it in. Vermette trying to center one. And that is blocked by Oshie. Now back of the goal for Doan, the captain in front, and that's cleaned up by Pietrangelo. Now on to Backes, and then for Schwartz. To Backes again, up the middle, and that's broken up by Bodker, and now ahead for Doan. And he is nudged off the puck by Vladi Tarasenko. And he goes back for Pietrangelo. And Payarvi is the left winger on this line with Berglund up the middle as the Blues ice the puck, and we get a whistle.
And an early opportunity here from Scottrade is our Toyota keys to the game. And certainly when you're playing it against a team like Phoenix that hasn't had much success lately, you've got to challenge them in all areas of the ice. See what kind of confidence that they may have. And the next thing is, obviously their goaltender, Mike Smith, is a guy that is a terrific puck handler, plays deep in his net, and a very athletic goaltender. Really getting his pitch and really challenge him as well in this game.
Phoenix only 3-7-4 in their last 14, and only one of those wins in regulation time. So they are really struggling. And a puck loose at the Phoenix line, grabbed by Keith Yandel. Now Yandel ahead for number 34, Tim Kennedy. And he hands it to Shattenkirk, and he'll punch it back down the ice, and this will be no icing now as they rule the Coyotes could have played it. Plumko to center. Off a stick to Shattenkirk, and now for Jackman. And Jackman has some room. Ahead for Stewart, who is on with Roy and Morrow. Played by Smith, who loves to handle the puck. And the puck at the line, not out though. Now in front for Derek Roy, a shot. And that's tipped away by David Schlemko. And it goes out of play.
And that's one of the first good puck handles there from Mike Smith. But when you look at the two head coaches, Dave Tippett versus his longtime nemesis Ken Hitchcock. In fact, Tippett replaced Hitchcock in Dallas, but the goals for, goals against differential. And you see 5-on-5, how significant it is for the Blues. They're at a +40. Now, the Phoenix Coyotes have always been a team that play great, solid 5-on-5 hockey. They play as 5-man units. Dave Tippett's done a marvelous job with this club. Went to the Western Conference Finals only a couple of seasons ago.
But did miss the playoffs last year as they were 10th in the West.
And I think look at those numbers, Banger. I mean, they're scoring goals 5-on-5. They're just not keeping them out.
That's exactly right. They allow the most amount of shots on goal, whether it be while shorthanded, at even strength. Large onus is on their goaltender. And when Mike Smith goes, certainly the Phoenix Coyotes go. He's the kind of guy that gives them a great deal of confidence. That's why he was named to Team Canada as one of their 3 goaltenders. He has the ability to win games on his own. Certainly, though, his first 19 games compared to his last 19, there's been just a significant difference in the shots against and the goals against average.
And he's won only once in his last 10. As the puck is lobbed to center ice. And tipped in by number 29, Jordan Schwartz. Not related to the Blues, Jaden Schwartz. Now Ryan Reeves after a loose puck. And Ekman Larskids back quickly. And the puck is knocked to center ice. No shots on goal by either club.
But there's 2 Schwartzes in the game, though. That's significant.
Spelled differently.
The Schwartz be with you.
Thank you, Bernie.
It shall be, one way or another.
Now it is Yashkin on the ice here for the Blues with Reeves and a drive from the line. That goes wide off Yandel's stick. As Cracknell is the center on this line. Now Yandel, far side, and another shot. And Michael Stone's drive never got on goal. And now Roman Polak, who scored against these Coyotes in November in that 3-2 overtime loss. Kept in by Yandel. And now it is covered by Yara Halak, and we get a chance to go downstairs to Bernie.
Well, you guys just mentioned the fact that Smith really likes to handle the puck, and I think that's something the Blues really are going to have to take advantage of. Last night in Winnipeg, he had a couple of times he went outside of the net, and consequently, the Winnipeg Jets were able to score. 2 different times it was set up because he did handle the puck. You see here again, a mishandle, and all of a sudden, puck goes to the corner, back to the front of the net. So I think the Blues really need to take advantage of it. If he does play it along the boards like that and does play it around, if you get the puck to the front of the net, who knows what can happen.
Yeah, a bit of an aberration. He never misses Yandel. They've worked the puck together so often.
Now Butker flies in, trying to go wide on Bouwmeester.
The age-old story, though, when it goes bad, it goes bad, huh, Bernie?
I agree. And he's still a heck of a goalie. I mean, there's no question that he's still the key to this hockey club.
Darren, when he makes errors like he did last night, and they certainly all word on him, but does that affect his overall play?
Yeah, I think he gains a lot of confidence from his puck handling. I think he gains a lot of confidence from the swagger that he has in the net, the presence that he has in his net. And when things start going awry like that, then
it can go the other way.
Yeah.
And a shot there by Schwartz. And now kept in by Oshie, but not for long. And now it's flown to center ice for Doan. In with Hansel, and they get their wires crossed, and the play goes offside.
That's a good little play there by Jaden Schwartz, cutting back from his right to his left, and he opens up that shooting lane so much better in this example here. Our Plaza Tire Service replay shows just how tenacious he is on the puck. Then he tries to go to the stick side. It's a smart play with Backes in front of the net. That's a tough save for the goaltender to make, and just like last night in Winnipeg, Smith makes a couple of real good early saves on the stick side. That was a beauty.
I don't know if he saw that, did he?
Yeah.
That's from my angle. I don't know if he could see it, but certainly what a save there, and what a play by Schwartz again, stealing the puck. He's unbelievable on the puck.
Now redeemed for bottom, a shot blocked. Derek Morris lets it go. That's blocked in front by Shattenkirk. And now Bravada around the goal. He'll twist one in front. That's blocked by Berglund. And the big Swede gets it out. And now in for Payarvi. And he goes wide in a high shot. Hit the glass, comes around. Jackman on the point, cannot keep it in. And he's in a race here with Martin Hansel, and Jackman shows good strength there. And now it comes along for Tarasenko. Quickly ahead for Berglund. And then Berglund skates it into the Phoenix end. Good poke check there by Ekman Larsson, who had the winner in overtime against the Blues. That's dumped in by Hansel. And now the puck centered, tipped away by Halak, and now picked up by Berglund, and he throws one to the Phoenix line. And again, Halak plays it down. He falls down back of the goal. Rather odd play there. To the line, Schlemko, and a glove save by Halak after some weird happenings behind the goal there.
I think he might have tripped over the side of the net, lost his footing, and just as the puck is going around the net, it's an easy play, obviously, but he trips with his left skate, and he's just recently fiddled with brand new pads as well. Geez, he loves that new equipment, doesn't he? He likes it right out of the box. It's a lot different now than it was in the old days when you've got that deer here and you're trying to break it in. It took forever. Now it's just a simple transition to get him into the game, and the firmer the better for goalies like Halak.
Now it is Roy in for Stewart. Chris Stewart, a shot, glove save by Smith, and a dandy.
Good release by Stewart, trying to bring it into his body a little bit more through a screen, and good hand-eye coordination there by Smith. Mid-level, good play by Ian Cole to transition game and speed. And again, nice pass by Derek Roy, feeding his right winger, giving his right winger some time and space to get it through. And that puck just barely goes through the legs of David Schlemko. Was that Schlemko right there? Right between his legs, and good save by the goaltender.
And now the Blues off the face-off. Jackman pinching in, and he gets it. Down low for Ryan Reeves. And he is taken out by Chipchura. And Joe, but no call. And then Yandel gets it onto center ice. Now for Klinkhammer. That drive. Pad save Halak. And now Klinkhammer again. Shots are 2-1 in favor of the Blues. Phoenix with it. And dumped in behind the goal by Schwartz. Plenty of time now for Chipchura. Tough angle shot wide. Klinkhammer again. Fires it through the goal crease. And out the other side to Shattenkirk. Now on to Adam Cracknell, who's at center tonight. Has played a lot of center in the minors, but not much with the Blues. And now Cracknell with it. And that's knocked away by Klinkhammer. This goes the distance. And another icing call against Phoenix.
Well, Bernie Federico knows this better than anybody, but playing the center ice position, it's a lot of work. It's a 200-foot game. It's covering a centerman in your own zone. It's reading and reacting. And so for Patrick Berglund, as he tried the second time going up the ice on one shift, he gets it turned over. Now you got to go the other way. This morning he said to me, "What is Sobey doing not going to go to the game? I like the left wing now." He says, "I'm not sure about center ice anymore."
Yeah,
now he's in center ice.
He needs to get that in deep. And the first thing he said when he came back to the bench here, Dupanger, he said, got to get in deep. He knew right away that he made a mistake there.
His 400th NHL game for big Patrick Berglund. And now with 100 career goals.
He's going to miss his buddy Sobotka. There's been some uncanny chemistry between Tarasenko, Sobotka, and Patrick Berglund. It has been fun to watch.
Now it is Backes for Schwartz. And trying to get away from Vermette, the former Senator. And then play back of the goal. It is TJ Oshie there for the Blues. Back for Pietrangelo. And he waits, and a shot hit a stick, goes well wide, and comes around to Oshie, who leads the Blues with 29 assists. In front, Oshie backhander. And that failed to get through the traffic. Ekman Larsson tried to clear it. And it stays in the zone, but not for too long. And now it is Mikhail Bodker again for Phoenix. And off the stick of Doan, and this goes all the way down, so Doan did not touch it. And we get the icing call. Well, students, join us at Scott Trade on Thursday for Student Night as the Blues take on the Kings. Get tickets for as low as $22 with a valid ID at the Ford box office. Visit stlouisblues.com/tickets for details. And now Berglund gets set against Antoine Vermette. And Berglund wins it from the Coyotes' top face-off man, but now it's moved along by Doan. And he goes off on a line change.
Yeah, Dave Tippett doesn't like that matchup at even strength as he juggles his lines entirely from last night and his defensive pairings as well. And so he's got Derek Morris now and Oliver Ekman-Larsson. They will be paired primarily at even strength up against David Backes' line.
So the healthy scratches tonight for the Blues, Carlo Koliakovo and Jordan Leopold. As the Blues shoot it down the ice, and this is about, what, the 6th icing call we've had here in the first 8 minutes of the game.
You know, Ken Hitchcock was a little concerned about the couple of days off, guys, as he told us that he was maybe concerned that it was like a vacation and these guys got to get back to work. Yesterday was a hard practice, and tonight really they need to get things going, I think, a little quicker, fellas.
Yeah, always common on that first 10 minutes after coming off of the road.
Yep.
It's kind of been a sleepy style of positional game, which isn't a bad one to play against Phoenix because that's what they do very well.
And this is kept in by Ribeiro. Drive. That's blocked by Pola. One thing Hitchcock did mention is the Blues rarely get odd man rushes against this Phoenix club, as we'll get another icing call. You know, against Vancouver the other night, Darren, the Blues had 8 chances in the first period, outchanced the Canucks in the hockey game 15-6, but against this well-disciplined club, although they give up a lot of goals, they don't give up many odd man rushes.
No, they don't, and that's the reason why they've had so much playoff success, at least climbing the ladder and getting there, other than last year, which appears to be an aberration, although they've obviously, we talked about how they've slid lately, but they're a well-coached, they're a well-organized team, and they don't have a whole lot of superstars on their team. They just got a team that plays hard.
Here comes Rory Korpikoski. He can't get it deep, and now Roy to center ice for Morrow. Trying to hit Stewart. That was off the mark, and David Moss plays it back now for Yandel. Yandel has struggled of late, -9 in his last 3 games. And now Klinkhammer in on Bowminster. Puck comes free for Jordan Schwartz. And now Klinkhammer follows up. Back to Derek Morris. The veteran, a shot off the end boards right to Halak. And he gloves it. 11:03 to go in the opening period. No score. Blues and Coyotes.
Yaroslav Halak. For Team Sweden, Patrick Berglund and Alexander Steen. And from Team USA, David Backes, Kevin Shattenkirk, and TJ Oshie. Congratulations on being named to your teams, and good luck in Sochi.
That is a wonderful response here, and boy, did it get loud when they announced the USA members. Wow. Great stuff by the Blues, and also including the Phoenix Coyotes representatives. That's just great stuff. That's selling the game, and these are unbelievable players that are going to represent their country in the biggest stage, you could say.
And again, the Blues with 10 players, the most, tied with Detroit and Chicago. As Morrow knocks a man down, here's Cole for Stewart. Tipped along now for Roman Polak. And Polak takes the hit from Ekman-Larsson, gets it deep. And then Stewart in on Derek Morris. And now Schwartz takes over for Phoenix. Trying to hit Doan behind the defense, but Ian Cole was wise to that pass. And the Coyotes have it again, Ekman-Larsson. And the Swede feeds it ahead for Burnett. Down the middle, Ekman-Larsson, a shot blocked by Roy. And now Doan gets it back of the goal. And Doan, his days go back to Winnipeg and the last year with the Jets in Winnipeg before, of course, they got a new team from Atlanta. There's the Blues, David Backes on the forecheck. Pass to Pietrangelo. He works in. Tough angle. Now to Oshie. Shoots. He scores! A blast by Oshie.
Terrific delay and buying time and patience with the puck as the Blues easily enter the zone, able to make a couple of plays. It all starts with the captain, David Backes, out of the corner. A good cross-ice speed that goes off the stick of Bodker, but here's the play by Pietrangelo. A little wait, turns, nothing on his forehand, so he waits for Oshie to come off the bench here with plenty of speed, and Oshie just today switched his sticks back to his old Warrior blade and stiffness on the shaft of the twig, and he just let that one rip. Told me today how much more comfortable he feels with that sucker, and it pays off right there as he just rips that to the far side.
His first goal in 5 games, 9th of the year at 9:54. And the Blues draw first blood. Now it's Shattenkirk in for Berglund. Pietrangelo and Backes get the assist on the goal. On a shot that I don't think Mike Smith really ever saw. Now back of the goal, Tarasenko trying to center one, intended for Payarvi. Up the middle, kept in now by Payarvi. And he'll wrist it around the end wall for Berglund. And then Berglund is worked over by Schlemko. Loose change picked up by Hansel. And again, the Blues with a persistent forecheck. Now the Coyotes tried the other way to Schlemko. And ahead for Hansel. And then tipped into the Blues zone by Kennedy. And around the net, it's Jackman. And then Shattenkirk has some time. Phoenix in the middle of the line change. Oshie tips this one in. Smith goes to play it. And rifles it around. That's cut off by Schwartz. Now Backes for Pietrangelo. And the puck rolled on him, and the Blues have to clear the zone. Oshie to Backes. At that line, Oshie barely kept it in, trying to flip one to the corner. And now Derek Morris almost had his pocket picked by Schwartz.
Oh, because he's a thief, that guy. Schwartz is awesome. He just sneaks up on people and keeps moving his skates. It must be quiet out there, huh, Bernie, that he's able to sneak up on people.
Oh, Stewart, a great move. And then at the last second, lost it. Morrow follows up a blast, and that knocked Moss down. And now Bouwmeester comes on. Bouwmeester trying to find some room here. Down low, Ribeiro gets it back for Phoenix. And ahead for Korpikoski. That's chipped to center ice. 8:05 left in the first period. The Blues leading on the goal by Oshie at 9:54. Now Roy in for Stewart. Back to Roy. Too hot to handle. Picked up by Morrow. Now Roy trying to center it. Comes in front. Cleaned up by Morris, but not out. Back to Ian Cole, and a fluttering shot was wide. And then Morris again. And a hit for number 29, Jordan Schwartz, their 4th round pick in 09. And this goes down the ice. And now Morrow gets a piece of this one. Shots are 3-2 in favor of the Blues. And that's tipped by Klinkhammer too high. And it goes into the netting. And we get a break in the action. As the Blues strike first on the goal by Oshie, his 9th.
Well, the basics of line changes result in a goal. Chris Stewart knows he's got to get off the ice. You can't turn it over. So here's Stewart with the puck right here. Stop it here if we can. And here's Stewart. He's going to dump it in there, and then he's going to head right off the ice on a line change because he knows that Backes has just jumped on. There goes Stewart. He's off. On comes Bouwmeester for his defenseman, but there's his right winger, TJ Oshie, who jumps on the ice. Plenty of space in a quiet area. The Coyotes don't pick him up. But we've seen that time and time again. When you don't get that in deep like that, then you're all in trouble because everybody's going north. So good, solid dump-in. Great pass by Backes. A better play by Pietrangelo. And an excellent shot by Oshie.
Well, Phoenix is thrilled to have Shane Doan back. He missed a dozen games with Rocky Mountain fever. He was horseback riding with his family and picked a tick off of his dog, and I guess he got the disease from that, and very serious, Darren.
Very serious. They found four ticks on his dog, and they got it down to that. It was scary. That virus would drag him down. They didn't have an explanation.
They thought he had the flu.
Absolutely.
Well, the Blues with it, and Bouwmeester for Jaden Schwartz. Break wide for Pietrangelo. And he was pressured. The puck up in the air and now chipped away by Schwartz. Mikhail Boedker trying to grab it. And here's Bouwmeester, hooks one back to his partner Pietrangelo. Up the boards for Cracknell and just offside as he tried to sneak in on right wing. Well, the Cardinals winter warm-up returns this weekend. Current players and Hall of Famers will be on hand to sign autographs, and Fox Sports Midwest will be there for all the player interviews. Every dollar raised goes to Cardinals Care, so get your tickets at cardinals.com/winter warm-up or visit the team store or Cardinals clubhouse locations. That's this weekend here in St. Louis. Now Hansel getting set for the face-off against Berglund. And they're going to toss him for whatever reason. Kennedy comes in for Phoenix. What did Hansel do there? I have no idea. He wasn't even set. As the Blues control it, here's a pass ahead for Tarasenko. And he controls it down low. Trying to spin off the Kennedy check, and now picked up by Morris. And his pass on the tape of Hansel. And he works in, big, strong guy. And a pass back, and that was intended for Kennedy, and that was just off his stick.
That's a great read by Tarasenko defensively right there. His job is to cut that ice in half. He darts across knowing that the defenseman Jackman's inside the blue line.
And now it's Shattenkirk winning battle with Verbata, and Shattenkirk up the ice. Along with Berglund, and now Ryan Reeves. Played along to Hansel. He gets the puck to center. Pollock a hit on Kennedy. The puck goes all the way down, but no icing here. Under 6 to play, first period. Oshie has the only goal. Now Yashkin, a hard shot, and that was high. Dmitry Yashkin in his 5th game with the Blues has 1 goal. Has 10 goals in 24 games in Chicago with the Wolves. Now Ribeiro a pass, and that's off the stick of Pollock, and that goes over the glass. And a timeout on the ice with the Blues up by a goal.
And welcome back to St. Louis. Well, Keith Yandle, the Phoenix Coyotes defenseman, is widely considered one of the top offensive defensemen in the league, and he's got the numbers to back it up. Going back to 2008, he's second among U.S.-born defensemen in scoring. But when the USA Olympic rosters were announced on January 1st, Yandle's name was left off. He wasn't on it. And he recently received a call from Dean Lombardi, the GM of the LA Kings, who also works on Team USA's management staff. And he told him, listen, stay ready. You were in the mix. You never know what can happen between now and the Olympics. And Darren, I know you had a chance to watch him up close for during your time with the Coyotes. Any surprise on your end that he was left off of USA's roster?
Well, if you're gonna add him, you've got to take somebody off. And the one thing that could end up meaning a guy like Shatty, Kevin Shattenkirk of the Blues. Tough decisions to be made. He's a dynamic offensive player. I think the biggest thing when you're in a big ice surface is what happens in your own zone. And sometimes Keith just tries to do a little too much with it, and that will get him in a little bit of trouble. But I'm a big fan of his character, and I'm a big fan of him when he's got the puck and leading the power play and making the decisions he makes.
Interesting in the warm-up, guys, just down here beside where I was you're interviewing Patrick Berglund, David Backes and him were both kneeling in a conversation, so I'm sure that Backes was probably trying to console him or telling him to, keep his head up, because he certainly could be added to the roster if someone gets hurt.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you look at the defense, and they have Suter, McDonough, Martin, Fowler, Shattenkirk, Carlson, Orpik, and Falk. I mean, so it depends on what you're looking for. That's a great save right there with the blocker on the Oliver Ekman-Larsson, an outstanding defenseman. I like the way the goaltender Yaroslav Halak challenged him. He got right out there knowing it was just he and the shooter, and instead of being passive in the blue paint, he came right out and took away all the options.
And a drive from the line got through off the stick of Derek Morris. Ekman-Larsson played 27 minutes last night in Winnipeg in that 5-1 loss. And now Chip Chura around the Blues goal. Ekman-Larsson for Morris. Winds up and a blast. Maybe off Bouwmeester, I'm not sure. And the puck tipped to center ice with 4:15 to go first period. Here is Morris to his partner Ekman-Larsson. And then is forced back by Backes. And now Morris again for Klinkhammer. And off the boards and in. Here's Schwartz back for Pietrangelo. And his pass tipped all the way down. No icing. And back to grab it as Michael Stone comes around, and the Blues can't hold it in. And now Payarvi for Jackman. Nice pass ahead to Berglund. And then Tarasenko for Berglund again. And a shot wide by a foot. Held in by Jackman. A drive on goal. And a save by Smith. That was tipped and away through. And now Payarvi trying to hound the puck. Vermette gets it back. And Bodker tips it out. Jackman quickly back the other way for Tarasenko. Into Payarvi. He goes wide. Right in front. It's loose and shot just wide. As Payarvi went wide on Yandel.
I like the way Payarvi's driving hard at the net. His skating, that's what drives Magnus Payarvi. That's what made him that 10th overall draft pick. And when he's going hard to the net, he's tough to contain. That's a good little play there. Good little dish by Tarasenko to get him in the open.
Yeah, he's done that 3 or 4 times, Panger, the last, half dozen games, which, I mean, he's almost scored. I mean, I think if we go back to Edmonton, I think it was a great save that Brizgalov made off of him when he cut all the way across, and I think Brizgalov got his right pad down. But I love that power move that he's got.
Last year in the shortened season, Magnus Payarvi had 16 points with Edmonton on 9 goals, and he went down and played 38 games with Oklahoma City in the American Hockey League and had 20 points in 38 games.
And this year with the Blues has 3 goals and 5 points in 25 games. And the faceoff controlled by Cracknell. And it comes around now for Yashkin. He'll dump one in. Reeves trying to hunt it down. Smith guns it off the boards. Cut off by Cracknell. Right in front to Reeves. And he can't get a shot. And now Kennedy has it for Phoenix.
Cracknell did a great job of knowing where that puck was going to come around the glass from Mike Smith. Smitty just fired that hard off the glass, and there was big Adam Cracknell. Right there, he took right in the blue note, dropped it down, and then made a play in the offensive zone. So that's just good, good research there, and knowing that Smith is very good at firing that high off the glass with his forehand.
And earlier, Jaden Schwartz knocked down a Smith clearing attempt from that exact spot. And now the faceoff won by Backes. Here's Oshie. That shot off a leg, and the Coyotes play it up the middle now for Kennedy. And that goes deep. First man back, Pietrangelo with 2:20 left in the first period. His pass, a hard one, controlled by Oshie. Trying to get the puck to the front. That was blocked. And Korpikoski the other way. And that's off a stick. It hit back as a stick and goes out of play.
Well, the outlet pass and the transition through the neutral zone was good for the Blues. That hard pass to the backhand there of TJ Oshie. And you know when you're playing with Alex Pietrangelo or Shattenkirk, Bouwmeester, that puck is coming on your tape, and it's going to come firm to you. So be strong on your stick and make sure you keep going north.
Blues have won 4 in a row at home and scored at least 5 goals in all 4 wins. Well, pass to Doan. Chopped in on goal. Halak thought about going up the right side and then put it back in the goal crease and very wisely fell on the puck.
Well, we'll go to Yaroslav Halak's old teammate, Max Lapierre. He's never missed a game as a result of any kind of injury on the professional level. And this is that hip check there by Hamhuis. And this has knocked Max Lapierre out of this lineup. And it won't be for just this one. Adam Cracknell will get a pretty good sniff as a centerman on that 4th line for likely the next 2 or 3 games anyway.
And again, Sobotka came down with a case of the flu today and is not available. Now it's Backes for the Blues. Trying to go to the line, fanned on it. Now Backes down low for Schwartz to the front. And that's turned away by Smith. It was bumped into. Smith had a really rugged game last night in Winnipeg. He was bumped a lot by the Jets, including a couple by big Dustin Byfuglien.
That looked like it clipped his head. And he's kind of got his head down there. When you get anything, any side of the body that just clips your mass like that, you don't expect it. That could really hurt your neck and hurt your noggin. And, you know, in last night's game, he got clipped. He went down. And Thomas Reich, the German, is the backup goaltender. But there's really the left elbow. But Oshie's getting pushed in there by Oliver Ekman-Larsson. But that left elbow comes over and hits him right on the head. And he has had some head injuries in the past. And I'm sure that one didn't feel good.
I don't understand, Panger, why he lets Oshie into the crease there. I mean, I would expect the size of him that he would
get
push
the arms
Oshie,
up there.
Yeah, get the arms up.
Yeah, almost like a cross-check that player before he gets in. But
yeah,
a lot of times, you know what happens, Bernie, is you're just so focused on the puck going around that you don't actually brace yourself for that part of it because your eyes are always on the puck.
Okay.
And that could have been in that situation, yeah.
Well, Smith trying to clear it again up the left wing side. Held in by Shattenkirk with a minute to go in the period. And it's tipped to center ice. Jackman recovers. Nice pass for Stewart. Now Stewart behind the back for Derek Roy. A drive and a save by Smith. And it's Barrett. His head is okay after that chance by Derek Roy.
Well, another good pass by Chris Stewart. Now this line's getting fancy with a little backhand pass. As you see the big 6'4" goaltender from Kingston. He covers a lot of net. Nice pass by Jackman right on the tape. Now Stewart buys some time and makes a perfect feed right there. He protects it so it's not going to get picked off. A good shot through the legs, through screen. And Mike Smith is there on his knees, and he makes that one look easy. An excellent softball player, and you can tell that Mike Smith has great hands.
Really deep in the crease, though, isn't there, Panger? Like he's right in the middle of the blue paint there, yeah.
Well, his goalie coach is Sean Burke, who had a great NHL career, as you well know. He played deep in his net, coached by Ben Waller, now in New York with the Rangers, who coaches guys like Henrik Lundqvist, and he plays fairly deep in his net as well. They have an answer for the pass more than anything else.
And now Berglund's pass hit a leg, goes to Tarasenko, to Pajärvi, and he swings and misses. And now Pajärvi after it again. Trying to deal one in front. Late here in the first period, under 10 seconds left, and Chipchura gets it back to center. And by Shattenkirk and played by Halak. And he puts this one high on the glass. And that will do it. So a rather disjointed first period ends with the Blues ahead by 1 on the goal by Oshie.
And I think if you're Phoenix, you're going to that locker room after last night's game going, oh, all right, we weathered that storm. There wasn't much of a storm in this game. It was fairly calm first 20 minutes of play, both ends of the ice.
Let's go to Jim Hayes.
Ken Hitchcock was saying before the game he felt like the Coyotes' best punch might come early. A tired team. He said the Blues' objective to keep them from getting off to a fast start. The Blues certainly did that. The Blues lead it 1-0 after one period of play. Coming up on the St. GM Country Intermission Report, Darren Pang will talk it over with TJ Oshie. Bernie Federko will join me on set to break down the first 20 minutes. Plus, we'll check out what's on tap. One period in the books. The Blues lead the Coyotes 1-0 at Scottrade. The Intermission Report is coming up.
And a big crowd again on hand tonight at Scottrade, and the Blues on an Oshie goal with a 1-0 lead. John and Darren back in the broadcast booth, and one of the hottest Blues of late has been the Russian Vladimir Tarasenko.
Well, we thought we'd focus on Tarasenko, and now he's without his normal centerman recently. Obviously, Vladdy Sobotka out with the flu, but Patrick Berglund steps in there. We know earlier in the year it was Schwartz, Berglund, and Tarasenko. Tonight, it's Payarvi on that left side, but he's a strong player. On his skates, he's winning the battles for pucks. I think the biggest difference earlier in the year is this recognition here. As soon as he lost control in the corner, it was right back in a straight line to break up what should have been a 2-on-1 for the Phoenix Coyotes. In his own zone, watch how slippery he is here. Goes to the backhand, makes a perfect pass there to Magnus Payarvi, and then he continues that on in front of the net. So just under 6 minutes of play, one takeaway, some good plays, and we'll focus on Vladdy Tarasenko throughout the course of this hockey game.
And Darren, we were talking to Alexander Steen after yesterday's practice, and he was really marveling at how far he's come this year.
A couple of things. Vladdy Sobotka pulled him aside. Vladdy's obviously one of the best centermen in the league in terms of winning faceoffs. He said, Vladdy, Tarasenko, you're going to have to fight harder for me in the faceoff dot. And after a while, that communication became clear. The little things that Tarasenko are doing well, that's what's endeared him to his teammates. He's not one and done, trying that one-on-one electrical move. It's not that way. He's making his teammates better. He's working the puck. And obviously, we're seeing a great young player.
Underway here in the second. Blues hockey brought to you by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. Now Jaden Schwartz flies in. A shot. And a blocker save there by Smith. Now it's back of the goal. For Schwartz. He has plenty of time. Now to the captain again. He's run down by Vermette. Oshie follows up. Oh, Schwartz was in front. It never got there. And had it gotten through the legs, he would have been wide open. And Mikhail Bodker will throw it back of the goal again for Ekman Larsson. For the 35-year-old Derek Morris. And this goes down the ice. Played by Halak. And now on to Jackman. And he's worked over by Hansel. Puck squirt back of the goal for Bouwmeester. And now to Jackman again. Long pass. Nice one to Berglund. And Berglund trying to get in there. Shot and a save by Smith. As Berglund was sent in by Jackman.
What a great pass by Barrett Jackman. I mean, you're talking about threading the needle against a team that does a great job through the neutral zone. That Blues first pass in this game has been sharp. And when you get that kind of passing, now you can break the seams. So a good chance by Berglund. Takes the puck on the forehand, cradles it, gets into the forehand here, and at a sharp angle, tough to beat. Big Mike Smith covering not only the low part, but the upper part of the net as well.
And they fight for the face-off. Comes in front, Tarasenko wide open! And a save by Smith. Another shot by Tarasenko. There's an example of fighting for the face-off that you just talked about. And now it is Payarvi. Held up, penalty coming up here against Phoenix. And Tarasenko out high, lost it. And now the Blues will get a power play, the first of the night.
It's going to be Stone that's going to go off. A holding call, first one, as you mentioned.
Phoenix penalty 26, 2 minutes for holding.
Power play went 0 for 1 at Vancouver. Here's the play by Tarasenko and Payarvi. All three blue sweaters in there on the face-off dot. And a great little backhand play there by Tarasenko. Just isn't able to elevate it above the pad.
And the Blues get the game's first power play. It is Shattenkirk in deep now for Schwartz. And then Derek Roy a pass. Tipped by a Coyote. That goes out of play. And we'll have a face-off. The Blues power play is ranked third at 24.5%. And Phoenix on the kill, not very good. 26th in the league at 78.4%. Although the Blues have struggled against Phoenix of late.
They give up the most amount of shots while shorthanded. It's a lot of rubber getting put on the net. Blues only had that, as I mentioned, only one power play in that game in Vancouver.
Now it's Schwartz. Quick shot and a save by Smith. And kept in by Oshie. Put off the glass by Morris, and this goes all the way down the ice.
And this is what you don't want against Mike Smith. He's got some belief now after his confidence looked like it was struggling last night. Now he's got some belief that he can take this game over. He's made some good saves here in the second.
Now the Blues on the power play work it back for Backes. And his pass through a seam, hit a leg. And to center ice. Smith stopped 37 of 39 in this building in their 3-2 win earlier this year. Now Schwartz cuts to the middle. Schwartz back on the line. Oshie. And he was the last man. Ekman-Larsson knocks it down, and the Blues a bit too fancy right now.
Yeah, the passes have got to be a little more crisp, and everything is, I think, just a little too slow right now.
And 50 left in the power play. Here comes Tarasenko. Nice play back for Pietrangelo. He works in. And then down low again, Tarasenko blocked, and Vrbata there. And he will shuffle it by Bouwmeester, and this goes the distance.
Well, keep our eye on Oliver Ekman-Larsson as he was going for a change there, Bernie, by you. It looked like a stick might have caught him up high. Big David Backes was in the vicinity.
Yeah, he's okay. He's not even humped over on the bench.
Schlemko back to the goal. Berglund cuts it off. And Tarasenko for Stewart. Now back for Pietrangelo. Stewart gets it again. In front. And a pass was blocked. And again, fed down the ice with 10 to go in the Blues power play. Trying to catch the Coyotes on a change. Stewart on the line. Blues only one shot in the power play. And now it is history as Stone is back for Phoenix.
Tarasenko had a good backhander, and that was just as the penalty to Mike Stone was being called. But then this one here by Schwartz. Schwartz has had a number of good chances in this game. That's 3. And trying to go to that stick side.
And now they
Big Mike Smith. Smith's been equal to that task.
Sorry, Darren, they put a second back on the clock, so... And now they drop the puck, and he's out of the box.
Schwartz has got to go high there. They say Smith's back in the net. You got to go high, right up underneath the bar.
It's one of two, Bernie. It's 18 inches above the pad, or it's right under the bar.
Yep, absolutely. And I like with the big goaltender going up top.
And a pass there goes all the way down the ice for an icing violation.
You know, Bernie, you and I were talking earlier, from your vantage point, being a goal scorer and being a great playmaker, the challenges of going up against a big guy that's deeper in his net.
Well, to me, when you got a big goaltender that stays back, I mean, he's a reactionary type of goaltender. So when you do got a chance, you've got to just kind of change your angle a little bit and have him move a little bit. And then you've got to go really up, to me, right up underneath the bar, either side, or else a 5-hole, because the pads are going to open up a little bit. But, you know, with Smith, he's so good down low that, to me, you've got to go up high when he, when he makes his move.
Look out here. Bottcher gets his wheels moving. Back for Morris. And then played back to the Blues goal. And now Doan, the captain, turns, and a shot came in front. Not sure if it was stopped or not. Now another chance, and that went high off the stick of Ekman-Larsson and back into Phoenix ice.
And Dave Tippett putting Mike Ribeiro, who was a game-time decision going into this game after being injured and missing all of the third period last night. He's got him with Doan and Bottcher now trying to get something going here in this second period.
And that's the guy that Hitchcock said we've got to watch tonight. He kills us, does Mike Ribeiro.
I think the best way to describe Ribeiro is slinky. Huh?
Sneaky.
Sneaky and slinky. Like, it's like he's got Vaseline all over that body. He just slides in and out of things for a guy that doesn't appear to skate fast, not very big, and yet he just gets through people.
Very deceptive thing, right?
Deceptive.
Yes,
it
really is.
Absolutely.
He had 49 points last year in Washington, did Ribeiro. Now Pollock is worked over. And the puck comes free, and look out, Klinkhammer up the ice for Phoenix with Schwartz. Klinkhammer, and he fans on the shot, and he broke his stick. He didn't fan on it.
That's a good break for the Blues there, with Schwartz driving hard to the net for the Coyotes.
Now Schlemko, spinnerama move, a drive. That's off a leg in front. And then Roman Pollock to the boards. And then Cole comes back to help out. Puck in front, Kennedy a shot, and a save by Halak. He got over, made a good stop there on Tim Kennedy. Maybe their best chance tonight. And now it is flipped high to center ice by Schwartz.
Good read by Halak, getting that paddle quickly down there so there's no area underneath the stick or underneath the pad on that little jam play.
Shots in the game, 11-6 for the Blues. Now Radim Vrbata, the drive, rebound, and that shot just wide by Kennedy as Halak didn't grasp it with the glove. And the Blues ice it here.
And this plays right into the Phoenix Coyotes' hands right here, kind of hanging around and hanging around. They escaped the first period, down by just one. Now their goalie's making some saves. This is the play by Kennedy, inserted it in the lineup with Halpern being a scratch in this way. And that one goes off the, obviously paddled down, and then the puck squirts up top. So Kennedy's got the 2 goals and 6 helpers, kind of been a utility forward for Dave Tippett. You see Yaroslav Halak doing some stretching right there, but for Ken Hitchcock, I'm sure, Bernie, he wants a little more alertness from his hockey club.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to talk to him in the next, probably the next stoppage. I'm going to ask him exactly what he said here, because I don't think this was a timeout because of the icing. His team maybe is a little tired, but I think there's more to it, this timeout right now, because the Tigers have had a couple of good chances in the last minute or so.
Well, when you know that David Backes just fires the puck the length of the ice, I know he's very good at hitting it right to the goaltender, but this is not the goaltender that you want to do that and then go for a kind of a lackadaisical line change either.
Good point.
Right?
Good point. Yeah, he can score goals.
Yeah, that's right. And he has.
Yes.
Now Backes against Vermette. Vermette is the Coyotes' best face-off man, over 56%. Blues won 52% in the opening period. Who's going to take it? Korpikoski steps in. And the Blues win the draw, and here comes Oshie. He has scored the only goal tonight back in the first period. And the Blues make a quick change as they get it down the ice. Mikhail Bottker the other way. Beats Berglund at the line. Now Berglund on the back check with his stick, breaks it up, and here he comes. He'll dump it in off the boards to himself, and he can't get a shot. Good play by Derek Morris. And now Payarvi comes in trying to strip Morris. And the veteran goes back of the goal, now ahead for Vermette. And it's to center ice. Korpikoski trying to work down the boards on Pietrangelo, knocked out of midair. And over the boards at that Phoenix bench. 13:16 to go in the second period, and the Blues lead 1-0.
The timeout. What was the message there with the timeout?
Oh, we just needed a rest. Guys were tired. They'd been out there. That deep pair had been out there for over a minute, so just needed a rest, Bernie.
You told us you wanted this team to be very engaged. Have you been maybe concerned about the energy level so far in the game?
Yeah, I mean, they're playing, Phoenix is playing a perfect road game, and we're having a tough go with it.
Thanks, Hitch.
Again, the Blues did not skate Saturday or Sunday after arriving about 6 a.m. following Friday night's game in Vancouver. As the Blues, Yashkin trying to hold it in. Now it's walked along by Derek Morris. And at the line, that's off the skate of Shattenkirk. He recovers and eludes the forecheck. Tipped by Cracknell, not out though. And now it goes to David Moss for Ribeiro. Here's Moss again, a shot on goal, saved by Halak. And chipped to center ice now for Yashkin. And off the boards, intended for Cracknell. Taken down by Ekman Larsson.
Boy, went in skates first. That's a dangerous play.
But he gets up, it appears to be all right. Yeah. And now Yashkin has it again for the Blues.
Looked like he just lost his balance and footing, bracing himself for that play. Not a bad play by Ekman Larsson, just a dangerous one for Cracknell.
And now it's Ribeiro trying to cut through the Blues defense. And then back of the goal, Pietrangelo away from Kennedy, now ahead to Roy. And here he comes into the Phoenix end. Almost ran into his own man, Reeve. Now played down low for Bolmeister. He's canceled. And then Bravado almost picked off by Stewart. And here come the Coyotes. Hands off the middle, and it's off his stick and into the glove of Halak.
Well, at the end of the ice, when there has been any loose pucks, we talk about Mike Smith's ability to play the puck. In the first period, he handled it 5 times. Only had that one turnover that happened when Adam Cracknell sealed it off against the glass. This one here will be a kind of a battle for that one right there, as he had no other options. He tries to go right to the tape, high above the hash marks, but obviously very, very good at handling the puck. But it's one thing to be good at it. It's another thing to be able to be a good skater, to get to the open area. And then it's another thing to have good hockey sense. You have to know and read and be able to put the puck where the players want it, not just somewhere where they're in a bad position.
But again, Smith did have a couple of missed plays last night that led to Jet goals in that 5-1 win. And now the puck in front and off a leg. Got a penalty called here. It looks like against the Blues, as the Coyotes have had a lot of pressure around the Blues goal in the second period.
And this is exactly what Ken Hitchcock was telling Bernie Federko. I mean, you could see this up here. We've seen this team, the Phoenix Coyotes, the way that they play. They escaped that first period. They felt good about it. You can see that they're gaining more confidence. They're working the puck down low. Hansel does go down, minor penalty there. And Good protection, though. After that shot, there was good protection. Obviously, Barrett Jackman doesn't like that call because you've got a player, a big guy like Marty Hansel, leaning down like that, kind of losing his footing over there on that wraparound.
And the Phoenix power play against the Blues of late not good, but they have scored power play goals in their last 4 games. And on the year, just over 19%. That is 10th best. Meanwhile, the Blues have killed the last 20 against. Here's a pass by Yandle. And then worked in by Ribeiro. He'll drop it off. Now Yandle for Ekman-Larsson. A drive. That was just wide by inches. And Yandle kept it in. Now for Bravada. Doan leads the club with 6 power play goals. And the Blues, Oshie does get the puck out.
That's a good effort.
Some good second effort.
Really good effort. Long stick, good effort. Making sure that Yandle's not able to keep it in.
And now Pietrangelo for Oshie. And he goes down the boards. And 45 gone in the Blues penalty here. And now it's Yandle. Long stretch pass, Ribeiro. And then it is dumped in deep by Vermette. Run around the boards by Ian Cole. Up in the air, swatted at and taken by Berglund. And can't clear it. Cole trying to clear it out. That puck was near the line, but not out. Now it's Roman Polak back of the goal. And away from Vermette, tipped away by Schwartz. Good job by Polak.
Yeah, great job by Roman Polak. I mean, that's the kind of strength that he has right there. He wasn't going to be denied and get as much on that as possible, and just enough for that puck to get out of the zone.
Now Doan tipped one in there. And Bottcher trying to drop it back. Good read by Vladdy Tarasenko. Now ahead to Berglund. Blues were thinking short-handed goal there, but the Coyotes get back to break it up. 25 to go in the power play. And now Doan mishandles. And the puck filtered ahead for Derek Roy. Here's Roy in. Little toe drag move. Back is trying to follow up. That's broken up, and now Ribeiro the other way. And here he comes. And he delays. Pass back, broken up. And the Blues take over. Pietrangelo rifles it down the ice, and that's going to do it. Phoenix, no shots on the power play, and Jackman is back. And Schlemko to center ice. And that's tipped by Oshie. Oshie has scored the only goal back at 9:54 the first period. As Bouwmeester creates some havoc at center ice. And then Stone shoots it back to the goal for Schlemko. Now Ribeiro, that's cut off by Morrow at center ice. See if that kill can give the Blues some energy here with a 1-0 lead. Tipped ahead by Morrow. Now Stewart in a foot race. Schwartz getting back for Phoenix. Now it goes back to the goal. Here's Morrow. In front, wide open, a shot! And Yashkin's drive from 15 feet out was tipped into the netting. It's still 1-0 St. Louis in the second.
Well, Chris Stewart did a great job on the only goal of the game, getting that puck in deep. And here, the first forward in's got to put pressure. He does on Schwartz, but now Yashkin gets it across to Morrow. Morrow makes a nifty little pass, and if not for the stick there of Michael Stone, the Winnipeg native, Yashkin's got his second goal of the season because he's got a wicked wrister trying to go high to the blocker side, but just blocked.
Again, Yashkin has played in 5 games with the Blues, but has yet to have a full practice with the club.
Yeah, as Ken Hitchcock was saying that, lamenting the schedule, of course, with a coach like Ken Hitchcock and all these veteran coaches. They just need a little time to get these players in what they call a real hockey practice, not just a morning skate.
Boy, would I like to play now. Wow, hey, Banger.
Oh,
no
boy.
practices. They just show up at the rink. Nice deal. Get off the charter,
Nice.
go to the Ritz-Carlton, nice meal, and then go play the game. It's a lovely thing.
The meals especially, Birdie.
Exactly. And that little afternoon nap. Oh, come on now.
You want the steak, you want the chicken, you want the salmon, you want the potatoes with the sour cream. What else you got?
Little pasta, too. Little pasta.
The ice cream, too?
Yeah, absolutely. Chocolate sauce. Come on now.
I'm getting hungry up here, gentlemen. Now it's Tarasenko.
More excited than the game has been. Keep talking, Birdie. Oh, minor penalty.
And a hit from behind, and now Morrow gives the Coyote player a shot as Tarasenko was upended.
Is that Michael Stone going off again? Got to play in his hometown last night as an NHL player for the first time. A big thrill for Michael Stone. But here he gets on the outside here, and then it's a little shove right there. Right, not the first one, but a second one. as Tarasenko's numbers are clearly facing stones. First one he got away with, which was nothing anyway. You're expecting along the boards to get that battle. Second part about it is a lot of players, when they get faced like that, they release their hand a little bit, maybe protect themselves with the glass, but you saw the way Tarasenko, he was looking down because he was controlling the puck with both hands on the stick.
And the Blues have not had a shot since the power play earlier in the game when Jaden Schwartz had one 2 minutes into the second period. Blues 0 for 1 tonight. It is Roy on the faceoff against Vermette. And Vermette wins it for Morris. And he rifles it around, and this goes back to center ice. Oshie and Shattenkirk on the points. Up front, Roy, Schwartz, and Backes. And Schwartz flies into the zone. He gets it low. Vermette back defending. Now Backes, Shattenkirk, back to Oshie, and a shot looking for a tip. That was blocked by Ekman Larsson. Oshie has it again. Quickly to Shattenkirk. That's off a leg. Now Schwartz. He gets turned around into Shattenkirk. Thrown low for Backes. In the slot. Schwartz a drive. Right on goal. A save by Smith. Good stop there. Now it's Oshie. On to Roy. Slap pass. Tipped by Schwartz wide. And now Backes wanders back of the goal. Out high for Oshie. He'll rifle into the corner now to Shattenkirk. Can't center it. And now Backes comes up with it. Oshie, the point man there, off his skates. A minute to go in the power play. And a drive. And he scores! Oshie again! And it's 2-0.
Oh, that's a great screen in front by Jaden Schwartz. Schwartz has had at least 4 great scoring chances, and on this play, he just goes to the front of the net. Go to the front of the net, create a screen, and there's Oshie who pats him on the lid right there. Gives the dome a little bit of a rub. Traffic in front, so just fire it there. The goaltender's completely screened. We isolate on the front of the net, and there's Jaden Schwartz, lifts up the leg, looking for a redirection at first, but then it comes by him a little bit quicker. And as I mentioned before, TJ Oshie going to that stick that he used all of last year, and he's loving it. That twig is hot right now.
His second 2-goal game, had 2 against the Kings on January 2nd. And it's 2-0 for the Blues. The power play goal at 12:54. And here comes Roman Polak. Smith can't block it. And now Morrow in there on the hunt. Trying to get it free for Yashkin. Chipchura there for Phoenix. And then Yashkin is boarded by Schlemko. And that could have been called. Now Morrow gets it free. In front. And a backhander by Yashkin went high, or rather Stewart. To the line now to Polak. Polak, a drive and a head-hunting shot. Hit glass. After Stewart missed from the slot at a backhander. And now we get a hand pass at center ice.
That's good pressure right there. A good shot by Roman Polak as they announce TJ Oshie's power play goal here at Scottrade Center. And it's a 2-0 lead. David Backes will get an assist as well. But we'll keep our eye on Schwartz and see if it nibbles off him at all. Boy, does it ever come close. It almost like it goes right under his jaw. Right around his face right there, and then just slides in. It's no wonder the goaltender couldn't see it. Schwartz has barely got out of the way.
And it's good that it didn't hit his shin pad, because it might have went up over top of the net.
And Backes and Shattenkirk get the assists. And the Blues lead 2-0. And that is a big goal. Now Payarvi drops it back for Pietrangelo. Long bouncing pass intended for Tarasenko. Ekman Larsson, and he is all bottled up. The Blues get it. Tarasenko, and he can't get around Ekman Larsson. And now the captain Doan up the middle. Bouwmeester back first for the Blues. To his partner, Pietrangelo. Now Tarasenko on to Bouwmeester. He's got some speed into the zone. And Bouwmeester a shot blocked by Morris. That goes into the netting, and we get a stoppage. 5:32 to go in the second. Oshie has both Blues goals here in the second period.
There is your new St. Louis Blues points leader. TJ Oshie now with 39, and there is Alexander Steen. Skated hard yesterday, worked out hard to begin it. Did not skate today, but he said, don't worry about that kind of stuff. He's got his routine going on. And there's the goal there by Oshie. And at first glance, I'm thinking it goes underneath his jawline. Obviously, people at home thinking I'm nuts, and I am, because it goes over or under that leg right there as he lifts it up. And but just a good play all the way around. Knowing there's net front presence, get that puck on net. It doesn't have to be hard, just has to get through.
So Oshie with a pair. He has never had a hat trick in his NHL career. And now Oshie on to Backes, who was assistant on both goals tonight.
So if he doesn't get one, does that mean you jinxed him?
Well, if you want to go there.
Because people say that all the time about shutouts, and I never believed in that kind of stuff.
I have nothing to do about this game. We're just calling the game.
From 200 feet above.
Exactly. Conversely, if he gets 4, you're going to give me credit?
Absolutely, John Kelly.
I appreciate that.
No problem.
Now it is Stewart with 4:50 left in the second period. Shots in the game, 13-9 for the Blues.
Sorry, John, I'll probably give Grandma Oshie credit before you will.
Oh, she's holding that Panger bobblehead doll for good luck. As it's Stewart now. And he was denied by Yandel, and then Hansel picks it up. Off the boards now for Morrow. And Morrow trying to escape his check, back for Pietrangelo. And now Derek Roy. Pass in front off a skate. Stewart grabs it. Stewart, hard pass in front. That's blocked by Hansel.
He's got that backhand snapper pass going on tonight. He's had a couple now.
And now Bodker a drive. Looking up high on the glove side. That was blocked. And now a glove saved by Halak. And we get a whistle. Well, ladies, get a group of friends together and join us Saturday night for Ladies' Night here at Scott Trade. Your ticket price includes a pregame party, exclusive Ladies' Night outfit gifts, and much more. Go to stlouisblues.com/LNO for more information.
It's the shorter side of the good side. Here we go.
And the Anaheim Ducks come to town after the Kings are here Thursday. What a week for the Blues here at home. Schlemko, fans on the shot. With 4 to play in the period. And now turning is Klesla. Bodker tips one to the corner. And now Bodker with it. In front, Schlemko wide open. And that didn't get through the maze of players in front.
Might have hit Backes in front right there, but boy, did Schlemko make a slippery little move there from the right point.
And now played by Bouwmeester, but not very far. And now it comes up the near side. Here's Derek Roy, floats it. Stewart, he's onside. In the clear, a shot, and a save by Smith, and then a penalty called, and a cross-check against Phoenix.
What a hoist and flipper right there by Derek Roy. That's the way you beat the neutral zone congestion. You flip it high over everybody else.
Phoenix apparently doing a minor cross-check.
Big rusty Klesla is going to go off. And here's the big lifter over everybody else. Good handling the puck there by Chris Stewart. He stops, tries to go the other way. And watch the left pad of the goaltender, Smith. Brings it there. Oh, actually nibbled the bottom part of the glove. He elevated that. And a terrific save there by Smith. And right after that, he gets drilled from behind. Even more frustrating to Mike Smith is the fact that he'd already made the save. There's no need to knock him down over there.
Blues 1 for 2 on the power play. Here's Oshie back for Shattenkirk. Now around for Tarasenko. Berglund's in the slot. And a shot by Tarasenko wide. Comes back to the line again for Oshie.
Looking for that high shot pass right there to Berglund.
Now Berglund a drive. Got through and a save by Smith. And then Tarasenko. He'll pry it free. And then back for Oshie. And he walks the line. Nice play to Tarasenko. Fires it on goal and a save by Smith.
And no rebound because Brendan Moore was right on the doorstep right there. That was the set play. And I think what's been as amazing as anything else with the St. Louis Blues this year is the fact that every other game it seems like one key player is out. Obviously losing steam for an extended period of time, I mean, that's very significant with his 24 goals and all-around play. But then when that happens, Tarasenko steps up and he plays the way he's played, or Jaden Schwartz plays the way they play, and they're tinkering with 3 different power play combos throughout the year. And boy, it has worked because of the amount of injuries that they've had and always changing. Yet they continue to have great success in puck movement with the man advantage.
And the Blues in Pittsburgh, the only 2 clubs in the top 5 in both penalty killing and power play. as the Coyotes win the faceoff. Schlemko fires it down the ice. And now with 1:20 left in Klesla's cross-checking minor. Now Pietrangelo for Schwartz. Trying to cut to the middle. Stone knocked him down. And he will ice it. And Halak to play it. Phoenix does not have a short-handed goal this year. The only club without one. Look out. As Bouwmeester goes for a bit of a spill back of the goal.
I think they raised that trapezoid line for him.
I think he hit the back of the net. You guys are too hard on Big Bo.
Sorry, Big Bo.
Now it comes back to the line, and now we get a whistle. And a boarding penalty against the Blues.
That's going to nullify the final 49 seconds of the power play. And then Phoenix will have a chance late in the period. David Backes getting an explanation from the referee. Dave Jackson and Kyle Raymond are the referees. Boarding call made by the veteran Dave Jackson. And obviously, Big Dave Backes looks. The player stops. And with him stopping, that arm kind of rolls up on the numbers there of Michael Stone, who's had a couple of minor penalties in this game.
Boy, that was not much of a board there. And we'll go 4-on-4 for 49 seconds. Late here in the second period. It'll be Bergen against Hansel. Bergen up front with Tarasenko, and Berglund controls it now for Shattenkirk. And then the Jackman. Two Coyotes are around him. Now back to Morris, a pass blocked by Berglund. And Smith thought about coming up, but he doesn't have to. As Ekman Larsson skates back. Now for Morris. And then drop back for Ekman Larsson. On the wing for Verbata. Filters one through, intended for Hansel. Now back the line to Yandel. To Ekman Larsson. And his wrist shot blocked by Jackman. That's Stubb. Took that right on the ankle to the foot.
Yeah, right ankle. He's flexing it right now.
And now the puck down low, grabbed by Jackman. Still 4-on-4 here. Look out, he is run off the puck by Hansel. To the front, Ekman Larsson. And he went to shoot it and missed it. Now Phoenix on the power play.
It's a great scoring chance, too.
Was it ever?
Whiffed on it.
Phoenix 0 for 1 tonight. Puck in front. Hansel lost it. And now Berglund comes along. Stays in the zone. Ekman Larsson with it again. He works in, and a drive blocked by a Blues body. Maybe Berglund.
Jackman again, maybe?
Kept in, though. Ekman Larsson. And a wrist shot. Stopped by Halak. Final minute now in the second period. Phoenix gets it back to line. Then Bodker. Into Yandel. Ekman Larsson. A shot. He scores! What a play! And Ekman Larsson buries it. And it's 2-1.
And that's one of the reasons why Keith Yandel's a special playmaking offensive defenseman. I mean, this is just an outstanding pass. First, Yandel just inside the blue line makes the play. And Ekman Larsson, who's had a couple of chances in this game. In the first period, he was all alone against Yaroslav Halak going to the blocker side, and Yaro made the save. But the Blues have a chance to get that out of the zone. Yandel does a great job of keeping it, and there's the pass that he makes there. And Ekman Larsson lets this one rip. Might have glanced off Shattenkirk. Nonetheless, there's looks like a double I formation screen going on right there in front. And again, the Coyotes feel like they're in this hockey game with that late goal.
Ekman Larsson scored last night in their 5-1 loss. Now Halak plays it to the corner. Pietrangelo for Bouwmeester. Ekman Larsson, 6th of the year at 19-12. And the power play goal cuts the lead to 2-1. There's Korpikoski back on the goal. In the back of the net, and now it's grabbed by Pietrangelo. On to center ice for Oshie. He makes the smart play to get it deep. And then Mike Smith puts it high in the glass. It comes around, and Backes can't get his mitts on it. Then here come the Coyotes back to center. Chikshura. And a drop pass and a shot well wide. Yandel and Bodker get the assist on that goal by Ekman Larsson. And that will do it. So the Blues skate off with a 1-goal lead.
That's how important that next goal is, as David Backes has some words with Korpikoski as we end the period. I expect the pace of play. It's quiet in the first, got a little bit better in the second, and now I think we'll see a whale of a third here at Scottrade Center.
Blues lead 2-1. We hand it off to Jim Hayes.
Crowd got a little quiet there in the second period. That changed with TJ Oshie's second goal, then got quiet again with the goal by Oliver Ekman-Larsson. He's got 4 points in his last 3 games against the Blues. Jim Hayes in the Bud Light Zone. Here's what's coming up in the Jack in the Box intermission report. Panger will talk it over with Jaden Schwartz. Bernie Federko will join me on set to break down the first 2 periods of play. Plus, we'll have our dirt cheap shot as well. We played 2 periods at Scottrade. Blues lead the Coyotes 2-1. You're watching Blues hockey on Fox Sports Midwest.
And we get set for the 3rd period here at Scottrade with the Blues ahead 2-1. John Kelly, Darren Pang back in the broadcast booth. Well, Jaden Schwartz have played another strong game. He's leading the Blues with 4 shots. We don't think he tipped that second Oshie goal, but you never know. They might change it. As of now, it is Oshie's goal.
Yeah, it would have to be TJ Oshie that tells the official score, no, listen, I saw it from my vantage point. It definitely hit his leg. That's who told Jaden Schwartz. Jaden Schwartz wasn't so sure. But right off the hop in this hockey game, he had a number of good scoring chances. Good net front presence right there with Stewart in front. Quick little darting place to the outside, and another good save by Smith. So clearly, these shots aren't just average scoring chances. And sure enough, the one that goes in is the one where Schwartz replaces Backes as the net front presence on that power play unit. Backes ended up in the far corner to the right of the goaltender Smith, and Schwartz saw the opening. He went right to the front of the net. That just shows great hockey sense. And of all the goals being scored in this game, it's been all Olympians on the point total, except for Keith Yandle, who many could argue that he deserved a spot on the USA team.
The Blues win leading 21-0-3. Phoenix win trailing 5-11-4. And 9 times this year, the Coyotes have come back from a 2-goal deficit to get at least 1 point. And here they come into the zone. A centering pass by Bodker, and a great save there by Halak. As Bodker sent the puck in front, and that was a heck of a save there on Korpikoski.
Korpikoski does a great job of getting himself in position. I thought this pass originally was going to go to Vermette, but Bodker couldn't get it there originally, and then he sees Korpikoski right there on the doorstep. That's a tough little pass in a small area of the ice with all the blue sweaters that were there, sticks in the lanes, and yet it finds Korpikoski, and a better save by Halak, his toughest of the night.
And now it's Berglund against Vermette. Faceoff's dead even after 2. Vermette wins it. Long backhander by Morris hit the glass. And now moved along by Shattenkirk for Tarasenko into open ice. That's not the right play, and now Bodker comes back in.
But he was waiting for Shattenkirk to jump up there. That's the delayed man that he was waiting to get there.
Now a centering pass intended for Vermette. And the Blues the other way. So he was reading something that at the last second didn't develop.
Yeah.
Well, Smith a pass up the middle. And that is cut off by Schwartz. He hounds the puck, and look at that determination by Jaden Schwartz. And now that move by Schwartz. In on Ekman-Larsson. Backes follows up. To the line to Pietrangelo. He fakes it. Shooting one. That was blocked. And now Pietrangelo again. And it came to center ice and then shot back in offside.
Pietrangelo just must have just nibbled over that line there. He's trying to stick handle, get it to his forehand, and keep it in at the same time. But for Jaden Schwartz, again, pound for pound, he's really been a terrific player. Takes the hit from the side by Hansel, and then he just gets up and keeps on going and gets it in there. And David Backes ended up making a really nice pass after that play by Schwartz.
And now a pass by Smith in a leg goes to Derek Roy. He can't make a play. And Mike Ribeiro wanders back the other way, and that goes offside.
And that's another one of those examples by goaltender Mike Smith. He is so good at it, and quite often his defensemen really defer to him, and because he is so good at it. But there, I saw him kind of motion over to Keith Yandle. He went right off Yandle's leg and nearly, bounced out into a scoring area.
And now Smith again out to play it.
Now that's a good play.
Here's Ribeiro. And then shoveled in by Doan. And then back of the goal, Derek Roy trying to get it away from Moss. At the line, wrist shot. Hit traffic, rebound, Moss. What a save by Halak. He got over and made a big same time, lunging save on Moss.
Holy jumping. That's all of the 5'10" of Jaroslav Halak right there. Stretching over to his right. Moss, a right-hand shot, has got it right in the wheelhouse. Keep your eye on 18 White. It's there. It's wide open. Oh, what a save. Right pad and blocker. Closer look here. See what it goes off of. Oh, it goes off the right pad. That is outstanding. Desperate save right there by Halak.
Moss has not scored in 8 games and can't believe he didn't score there.
Everybody on the bench stood up and applauded Jaro on that play, guys.
Oh.
Everybody on the bench.
It's one of those big moments after giving up a late goal in the second period. That 2-0 lead looked comfortable. Then it's 2-1. That would have made it 2-2.
And now Phoenix with a couple of good chances here in the third period. Now the Blues come in. Pretty late offside.
Pretty good math on John Kelly. See the way I can add those up like that?
You are a genius. And that's an offside there. Hey, you're talking about Jaden Schwartz. He has not had a minus game in his last 22 appearances. Plus 21 of those 22. That is some solid hockey.
There's a lot of things go hand in hand with plus minus. I mean, let's face it, you can have a great shift and your goalie can give up a bad goal. That's a minus. You can have the worst shift in the world. You're going for a line change, somebody scores a goal. That's a plus. You know, but I don't think it's a fluke with Jaden Schwartz.
Well, he's playing against the top line almost every night.
Yep. That's, I mean, he does the little things extremely well and doesn't put the puck in a bad spot. No bad turnovers. Keeps it deep and just can flat out make plays.
Now this is Dmitry Yashkin for Reeves. Back to Shattenkirk. And his wrist shot hit a leg, goes wide. Yashkin back to the cage. And he emerges on the far side. Then blew a tire. And the puck played on for Klinkhammer. That cross-corner dump in. Smacked ahead by Jackman. And that moved along to Cratchel. And here he comes. The Blues are making a change, so Cratchel has to do it all himself here. And now Morris with it for Phoenix. 3 minutes gone by here in the third period. Blues up by 1. Korpikoski. That shot blocked by Polak. And he plays it off the board now for Tarasenko. And Tarasenko to the line to Payarvi. Works in for a shot, and that was tipped wide. Now Berglund gets it. Back in front. And in the area of Tarasenko, but the Coyotes played off the glass to center.
One area that Berglund's been real strong at in this game, and there's been many, but he's been 71% on the face-off dot. That's a heck of a number.
That is the best by any Blue tonight. And this is an icing call against St. Louis.
So again, we focus on Mike Smith, the big 6'4", 215-pounder. And here's what I was talking about with Yandle. He tries to now, he looks, he waits, he's got 2 options, and he kind of fires this one, meaning to go up the boards. It hits the skates there of Yandle. They converse after that. Now he takes it just before it gets into the trapezoid area and makes a real good pass against the grain. I mean, it's a tough thing to defend against when he's on his game because the defensemen peel off and they don't necessarily go to him. So it's a shorter distance to get the puck going the other way.
Now Yandle will pass to the corner, blocked by Cole. On for Berglund. And Berglund's shot. That was blocked. And then Yandle kicks it ahead, and here he comes. And that sails over the Blues goal. There's a broken stick back of the goal as Cole is tripped up. No call. And then at the line of drive, didn't get through as Derek Roy blocked that shot from Michael Stone. And then Pietrangelo lays one to the corner. Morrow trying to hunt it down. Fights off the Stone check. And now it's Kwesla, or rather Moss in the corner. And then back to the near side and ahead for Ribeiro. And he hoists it high. And that comes down to the feet of Bouwmeester. Shots in this period, 2-0 Phoenix. Oh, Stewart at center ice check. And now Radim Bravada comes in, and a shot. Hit a stick, goes wide. Kept in by Kwesla. And then funneled back of the goal. And then Roy knocks it away. Here's Morrow. 2 Coyotes all over him. And Bravada gets it away from Morrow. Now Bravada chips one in front. Kwesla, fan of the shot. And now Roy with some room back there for Bouwmeester. Thought about going ahead to Stewart. Now he does, but Stewart is offside. And we get the stoppage.
Well, it gives us an opportunity to share with you our BMO Harris Bank check replays of the night. Vermette with a big hit right there. Oshie responds there. And that's a minor penalty on defenseman Michael Stone on Tarasenko. Patrick Berglund going at the Czech Republic. Radim Vrbata, you talk about guys not making teams. You talked about Yandel. How about Radim Vrbata? Not making the Czech Republic. He's a heck of a player.
Yes, he is. Former 10th round pick of Colorado back in '99.
You mentioned, obviously, an omission is Roman Polak, but that's two pretty darn good players that the Czech Republic will not have.
Good read here by Shattenkirk, and he darts in. Now Shattenkirk to the front, intended for Oshie. Now Shattenkirk again. And then Oshie gets away from Ekman Larsson. Out high, Jackman does a great job to keep that in there. Ekman Larsson to the far side, and his partner Morris lobbed one to center ice. Shattenkirk up the middle for Schwartz. Quickly back to Jackman. And now Backes crosses center ice. Rare shot, blockered away by Smith. Here's Moss, he'll play it to the end boards, and now it comes to Stone. Cordone onto center ice. And that looked to be offside, but it's ruled a legal play, and then a hit from behind by Backes. And the Blues get it back, and now to center ice, Ryan Reeves. He'll toss it in. Smith plays it to Yandel. He can't handle it. Now Yashkin trying to get it free for Reeves. And then Krokto trying to barge his way in front. Reeves follows up. And that shot was wide on the short side. Comes around Polak. And one shot, now another one, ends up back of the goal again. A Smith check. Here is Yashkin. And then Krokto there. And he plays one to the line, but Cole cannot get over in time. And the Blues have to retreat. Nearly 7 minutes gone here in the third. The Blues up by one, trying to win their 5th in a row at home. Tarasenko at the line. And he can't get in it. Dribbles back to Berglund. And he drives one back of the goal. Smith, a busy man in goal there. And that comes up the boards. Held in by Pietrangelo. This time Schlemko plays one up the right side for Vrbata. Now ahead to Kennedy. He'll fly it by the head of Pietrangelo, and he goes after it. Tim Kennedy far side. Bolmeister, good play. Strong, deep in his own zone on Vrbata. And now Payarvi gets it by his man. Here he comes. Tough angle. In front of shot. And Tarasenko just missed. To the line now for Pietrangelo. And he fakes it. Rolls it back to the cage. And now it's slowed down by Schlemko. And the Blues make a change. Kennedy gets a piece of this one. Tipped in the area of Jaro Halak. And now for Pietrangelo. To his partner, Bolmeister. Nice exit of the zone on a 3-on-2 now to Roy. Into Morrow, but it's tipped, and that put the play offside, and that negates an odd man rush. 12:05 to go in the third, and the Blues lead by one.
Jim Hayes with a Bomberito Sports Update. Avs at the Blackhawks tonight. Colorado jumps out early. Ryan O'Reilly, the power play goal is 17th. 2-zip Avs. Second period, Blackhawks answer. Johnny Oduya gets the tip and made it 2-1 in the third now. Tied at 2 apiece. J.K. Panger, we send it back to you.
All right, Kat, thank you very much. And the Blues entering play 3 points behind Chicago with 4 games in hand. Blues have played the fewest games of any team in the league.
You know what they say about those games at hand?
Yes, I do, but why don't you tell the folks?
That's right. You got to win them.
And so far, so good.
Otherwise, you get the old 9 of hearts in the game of euchre.
That's right. 12 minutes to go. Hopefully, another 2 points.
Jackman puts it off the glass. And that does come to center ice. Jackman again to his partner Shattenkirk. And that sails down the ice. Ekman Larsson, who has scored the Phoenix goal. Oshie has scored both of the Blues goals tonight. Now it's Korpikoski. And he walks in. Jackman against Bodker. Now for Backes off the glass and out.
Really good job by the 2D and the centerman Backes to get out of the zone easy. The Phoenix Coyotes had 2 men in there on the forecheck, including speedy Michael Bodker, but yet the Blues got out of there with relative ease.
Now Vermette is pulled down by Brendan Morrow.
Oh, boy.
And a holding minor.
Dave Jackson is off to the far side to the left of Jaro Halak as Ken Hitchcock can only look on right here.
St. Louis penalty on the minor for holding.
And the penalty McKill, the last 7 games, including this one, has been 20 for 20. So with one hand on the stick and one off, the right hand drapes on the inside of Vermette, knocking him down.
Although that streak came to an end with that Ekman-Larsson goal.
You're right. Late in the period at 19-12. My mistake.
So Phoenix 1 for 2 and a chance to tie the game. It's won by the Coyotes back to Yandle. Tipped by Ekman-Larsson. He's run down by Backes, now ahead to Oshie. And Oshie with plenty of time wrists it all the way down the ice.
Well, the guys to watch come from the point position, and that's Ekman-Larsson and Yandle. And the Blues are going to have to be cognizant of that weak side play with them jumping in.
And now they go offside up front for Phoenix. Ribeiro, Doan, and Vermette.
Well, the power play of Mike Ribeiro and the Phoenix Coyotes, in their last 5, they've scored goals. I mean, that's the only area that they're getting any goals. It's not coming at even strength. That certainly has been a challenge for them. But they have the ability and certainly the skill level to score on the power play. And that was Ekman-Larsson there scoring last night in Winnipeg. And that's a player to watch for sure.
And the Coyotes win the face-off. And they get the puck in. And Doan sends it around for Ribeiro. Back to Yandle. Down the boards, Ribeiro. Tipped to the line. Vermette could have shot that. Now it's Yandle again. And then Ekman-Larsson, Yandle goes across. Now a shot. That's blocked. Rebound. And a save by Halak on Vermette. Quick, tricky backhander.
Yeah, you're right about that. Vermette really got a lot on it, considering he wasn't in a real good position to do so. So a sharp save there. Keep your eye on 50 White right there. The puck's going to come right back to him there. And just a quick reaction backhander and a better save by Halak with no rebound.
And a minute 9 to go in the power play. Blues win the faceoff. Backes now for Bouwmeester. And that's tipped out of midair by Oshie. He goes after it. In against Ekman-Larsson. And Oshie comes up with it. And now Oshie off the boards against Ekman-Larsson. If there's a bouncing puck in play, you can be sure Oshie's going to win that battle. He has got such incredible hand-eye, and now he fires it down the ice.
Well, we marvel at him in practice. During the warm-ups on Bernie, his ability to flip pucks, knock him out of midair. He's something else.
It's so remarkable. I mean, he throws the puck up so far in the air and then catches it on his stick, which is incredible to me.
And the Coyotes keep it in there. Boedker around the boards. 22 to go in the Morrow Minor. Now Mikhail Boedker again. Out high for Yandle. Ekman-Larsson a shot, and that was blocked maybe by the Coyote player Hansel, and then fired down the ice by Tarasenko.
And you got to watch yourself here because it goes all the way to Smith. The Blues do a good job. That Derek Roy did a great job right there, staying on the ice and forcing Smith to kind of calm it down.
2 shots on that power play. Morrow is back. As Stone comes in, a shot. Hit the back of Moss. And now Moss again. Off his stick. Berglund there along with Morrow. And now Berglund trying to poke it out of there. Held in. Ribeiro to the corner. To the captain, Doan. Now Ribeiro again. Little wrister in front. Hit a leg, and it goes right to Stewart. Look out. He almost gave it away. That was Doan in there trying to get it. Now Doan across the goal crease, and that was too hot to handle for Ribeiro. And a 3-on-2. Led by Morrow. To Stewart. And he was checked at the last second. Waited too long. And couldn't feel the back pressure. Here's Ribeiro back in the other way. And his play for Klesla. That shot hit his skate, goes wide. Comes to Morris. Hit a couple of sticks. And then finally chopped away by Stewart out of danger.
Interesting
15 to go.
Stewart there. He's in his own zone. Circles back, makes a backhand pass, got picked off. Got going the other way and got picked off going back again.
Yes, excitement at both ends. Now a drop pass by Boedker. Now Boedker again a shot. It got through and a save by Halak. That perhaps was tipped on the way through by Korpikoski. The Blues still leading by 1. 8 minutes left.
Well, for TJ Oshie, red hot. and he is absolutely hopping. He had a chance to see his family in the game in Vancouver. The energy's there. The Mazda drive to the net off the bench after Stewart had the dump in, takes the feed from Alex Pietrangelo. Right in the wheelhouse, gets everything on it, rips it by the goaltender, who went down in the butterfly. Looked like he was screened on the play, but a perfect shot by Oshie, playing nearly 17 minutes so far.
And 6 goals in his last 8 games. 8 minutes left here. Blues up by 1. Backes against Hansel. And the Blues control it. Bouwmeester. Long stretch past Oshie. Yandel is back 1-on-1. Here he comes. Little head fake. And then Yandel recovered and made a good defensive play. And Kennedy down the wall. His pass blocked by Backes. Good job to get back by Backes. Now on for Schwartz. And he gets it across the red line and ships it in. Hansel swings one ahead for Yandel. And now Yandel on the attack. And that shot blocked by Pietrangelo. And he wanders to the other side. Now Yandel to the front. Kennedy a shot. That goes wide. Around the goal. He can't get by Pietrangelo. And he goes to the far side. Payarvi. And he gets there first ahead of Derek Morris. Good play by Payarvi.
Phoenix has got a push going, guys. This is Blues right now on their heels. They need to get something going the other direction.
Yeah, this shot's 5-1 for Phoenix in this third period. Darren?
Experienced coach, experienced core group of players that have gone through this movie before, and they know what it's like to put the pressure on. The Blues, though, are doing a good job of not allowing anything in front.
And now Shattenkirk trying to move it away. There's Doan in for Phoenix. Derek Roy ahead to Morrow. And then Roy swats it on the stick of Stewart. That pass broken up. And now Morrow again for Roy. This time it goes deep. And Ribeiro, the first man back. Hit the stick of Stewart. And then grabbed by Ekman-Larsson. Almost picked off by Roy. And now it's Doan at center ice. And he'll dump it in. Ian Cole there. And he was pushed down from behind. But now it's Yashkin around the board. Pollock in the area. Can't get it. And then shipped back to the goal for Ribeiro. And his pass to the front. A shot by Bodker and a save there by Halak.
That hit the netting up there, I thought.
At the line now, Yandel with it. Yandel for Bodker again. Bounce to the line. Stone for Doan. A shot. And that was blocked out high as Doan broke his stick. And then Mikhail Bodker twisting and turning. Back to Stone, a drive. And a save by Halak. And now he covers it with the help of Ian Cole.
Good play by Ian Cole. So just to push it in there, the Blues obviously running around a little bit. Extensive pressure shown by the Phoenix Coyotes. And face off, 5:46 left, and a tight one here at Scottrade. Serves me right to jump on an official's call or missed call after Yaroslav Halak made the save. I'm thinking that this shot right here should have been stopped. The Blues were reeling in their own zone, but upon further review, we're going to stop it right here. And you can see right there that puck hits the glass at the very top. Bernie Federico, your eyes are great for an old guy, and same with you, John Kelly.
That is what you call a backhanded compliment, Bernie.
Contacts, baby, contacts.
Oh. Ekman-Larsson now for Derek Morris. A drive and a close save by Halak. The Blues have now been outshot 8-1 in the period and 21-17 for the game. In addition, the Blues have 16 block shots tonight.
Yeah, there's no question that the team that played last night is the fresher team here in the third period. But they are desperate. They've been tired of talking, tired of having meetings. And they've played their best game in a while here tonight.
It's only 2 lines basically now.
Yep.
I mean, this is only 2 lines. This bench has got shorter for Dave Tippett. So the Blues are going to have to be real careful here.
And the puck grab by Pietrangelo now to center ice. Handed on to Backes. And he wheels by Morris. Smith out to play it. And now grabbed by Korpikoski. Schwartz checks him. Puck in front, cleaned up by Ekman-Larsson. And now Morris goes for a skate back of the goal. And then Bodker will drop it back to Morris. Hansel. And then for Korpikoski. Shuffles one by Bouwmeester. And there's his partner Pietrangelo for Backes. And out of the zone.
That's world-class support right there. You know, fortunately for Bouwmeester, he goes in there, he takes the licking. But there's Pietrangelo right on the doorstep and easily wheels it out of the zone.
Under 5 to play in the third period. Oshie has scored both Blues goals. Ekman Larsson for Phoenix. Long stretch pass intended for Vrbata. Halak can't play it there out of that trapezoid. And now Vrbata tied up in knots by Jackman. It's Hansel away. Trying to drop it back for Tim Kennedy. And he's in a battle. Jackman knocks his man down.
Oh, Kennedy, he swatted that from on his knees. And
look out here. Vrbata's wide open at the goal post. He hit the post from 15 feet away. And now Jackman trying to move it.
The wrong guy in front of the net all alone. That Vrbata is sneaky. He's their leading point getter with 34.
And a shot by Payarvi handled by Smith. It's all Phoenix at this point. Down by 1. Now it's Yandel. Slowly to center ice. Pushed away by Pietrangelo. And now moved by Derek Roy, but too high. And that goes over the boards at the Phoenix bench.
Well, Radim Vrbata, he gets it right here after Payarvi loses his balance. Hansel fights him for it, puts it right over to his Czech buddy, Radim Vrbata. He loves going high to the glove side, that right-hand shot, and he beat Halak, but it's off the bar and out of play. Cleanly off the bar.
And he hasn't scored in 8 games. 3:47 left. And Roy wins it from Ribeiro. Here is Stewart, and he'll blast it in. Ribeiro gets back ahead of Morrow. And now Klesla, his backhand feed to the Blues line. Smacked the other way by Bouwmeester, and this will be an icing call against the Blues. Well, join us this Thursday as the Blues take on the Kings with a McDonald's pack. Get 4 tickets and 4 Big Mac coupons for as low as $129. Visit stlouisblues.com/tickets for more information. That's this Thursday, the Blues and Kings. Big face-off won by Roy. But now Bottker gets it in the corner. Back to Morris. Tip play for Vermette, and that was just wide. And now it's Vermette again. Twisting and turning on Pietrangelo. And now Vermette. His pass comes in front. Bottker shot. And that goes wide. And then Pietrangelo off the boards. Ekman Larsson kept it in front of Vermette. And he's pushed down and can't get a shot. Great job by Bouwmeester. And now Bouwmeester grabs it to Pietrangelo. And very cautiously back for Bouwmeester.
Yeah, but nice and calm, too. There was no play. He wasn't going to get the red line. Have the confidence to play it back to your partner in that situation. There's plenty of support.
And now Schwartz has to regroup and reload at center ice to Jackman. That's tipped in there by Backes. He goes wide on Ekman Larsson. 2:35 to play in regulation time. And now Hansel trying to get the legs going. Worked over from behind by Schwartz, and then Shattenkirk steps up.
That's a good step up there by Shattenkirk. Good read because he's got backside pressure with Schwartz right there.
And a pass by Backes. That's corralled by Schwartz. And he goes deep with it and heads off on a line change. And Keith Yandel. He is eyed by Tarasenko. Played by Stone to center, broken up by Payarvi. And he stops at his own line. And now plays it off the boards into Phoenix ice. Smith wanders to his defenseman Yandel. Almost had his pocket picked by Tarasenko. And now up the middle, it's Ribeiro, but that's stripped by Tarasenko. And 1:40 left. They'll pull Smith at any point now.
Yeah, I'm looking at the bench to see that communication, and it's important for the Blues bench to also make sure the guys on the ice do know if the goaltender's been yanked.
As Ribeiro gets a pass to the line. In deep, Jackman chops it. Up in the air, Backes can't find it. And now Vrbata back on the goal. Here is Ribeiro to the corner. There's Smith to the bench. 6 attackers now. And Ekman Larsson to Derek Morris, a shot. That's blocked. Vrbata trying to center one. Empty net here for Phoenix. Played around by Backes, and it comes to center ice. It bounced on Ekman Larsson. And Oshie tips it, and just wide of the goalpost. That would have been the hat trick. What a play by Oshie.
That would have been something.
And under a minute to go in regulation. Now Doan for Vermette. That's high and wide. Played by Jackman. Jackman chops it, and that goes by Yandel, and this will result in an icing call against the Blues with 39 seconds left.
A good setup by the Coyotes after they pulled their goaltender, Smith. And defensively, a good play. But once it gets to the neutral zone, that's the extended stick there of Oshie. Just tips it, just misses. Would have been his first career hat trick, as we have mentioned a few times. He's got his 9th and 10th goals of the year. Timeout being called by Phoenix's Dave Tippett, because the Blues did have that timeout in the second period on the icing call.
Well, Fox Sports Midwest wraps up the Cardinals Hot Stove Report Wednesday. We're looking back one last time at the 2013 season with its top moments, big games, and all the fun and on and off the field. Cardinals Hot Stove Report Wednesday at 6:30 on Fox Sports Midwest.
Well, there's been a few face-off battles in this game that looked like they had been won by the Blues, but because the Coyotes went to that open area or there wasn't enough battle by the wingers, the Blues end up losing possession. We know that Doan's a big, strong guy. He's going to get in there. Hansel's going to take the draw, and Hansel being a left-hand shot, he's going to try to get this draw here, and then once it gets there, Bernie, it'd be Ekman-Larsson if that's the case, and then you got the left-handed Gandil on the right side. That's what the Blues have to avoid happening.
Yeah, this is a very tricky two guys back on defense.
Backus against Hansel. And they dig in, but
They will
goes for an early skate.
They will bump out Hansel because of Doan coming in prematurely.
So now Ribeiro will take it against Backus, and Backus goes to the boards. And the puck in the skates of Verbata. To the line, Ekman-Larsson across. Yandel broke his stick right in half.
Oh.
That's a big break for the Blues.
Wow.
Now the puck down low. Ekman-Larsson has it bounced over his stick. 20 seconds left here. And Shane Doan almost stripped by Backus. Yandel ahead to Ekman-Larsson. Tipped into the zone. Ribeiro catches up. And then back for Yandel. Now Ribeiro back in the cage. Can't center it. Shattenkirk around. At the buzzer, cleared by Schwartz. And the Blues win it 2-1. Their 5th consecutive win on home ice.
Yaroslav Halak made a couple of big saves, that's for sure, in the third period, while the Phoenix Coyotes were putting on a push. But he also got some help. Verbata hit the bar. The Blues skate off with a 2-1 win.
Their 32nd victory of the year. As Oshie gets both goals, and the Blues hang on and win it.
Well, the game got dialed up a little bit there in the third. There's a few hectic moments, that's for sure, but another solid 2 points by the Blues here on home ice. Time now to crack open a nice cold Bud Light. And our player of the game is that guy right there, the U.S. Olympian T.J. Oshie. And when you think of that game-winning goal, Oshie from Backus and Shattenkirk, all three guys going to Sochi to represent the USA in the upcoming Olympics. T.J. Oshie was terrific, as was his centerman, David Backus.
Let's go downstairs to Tom Calhoun for tonight's 3 stars.
Now let's meet the Bud Light 3 stars of tonight's game. The game's 3rd star, recording 2 assists and playing it a forward for the Blues, number 42, David Backus. The game's 2nd star, stopping 20 of 21 Phoenix shots, playing in goal for the Blues, number 41, Yaroslav Halak. And the game's 1st star, scoring both Blues goals in the game, playing in a forward, number 74, T.J. Oshie.
Yes, indeed, the first star of the game with 2 goals. TJ, this maybe not have been the prettiest game, but the most important thing was getting 2 points.
Yeah, it was. They came hard, especially for playing last night. We had a couple iffy plays there throughout the whole game. Really, Yarrow really kept us in it, and we were able to get the 2 points, which is what was the goal from the first place.
How difficult was it tonight? I mean, you guys really, first time in a long time, you had 3 days rest. I think Ken Hitchcock was a little concerned that maybe you guys were going to be a little lax tonight. Was it difficult to kind of almost get motivated, especially the way the Phoenix has been playing as of late? They've been struggling. Was it a difficult game to play in the trenches tonight?
Yeah, it was a little sluggish in the first period there. We came up with a couple of goals there. Schwartzy, I think, actually had the second one off his pants. But, I think the thing we can take out of this is Yarrow, our goaltenders, they've been taking care of us lately, and they did tonight. Hopefully we got our legs under us now, and we'll be better in a couple days.
The second goal that we thought you scored, but you were going to say it was Schwartzy. You heard the crowd chant USA, USA. How exciting is that for you when something like that happens?
It's very exciting, especially, for Backus and Shaddy with the couple of weeks that we've had here after the announcement of the team. It's a special honor, and when you have your fans support you like that and you hear the USA chant, it's extra special.
Congratulations on the goals, the win, and get some rest. You got a couple big games yet this week.
Yeah, thanks, Bernie.
That's TJ Oshie, of course, the number one star. We thought it was 2 goals, but looks like it's a goal and an assist. But a great night here. As I said, maybe not the prettiest game of all time, Jimmy, but certainly a good win. Let's go back upstairs to Jimmy.
Yeah, great game for TJ Oshie and a great night for the Blues. The Blues, hold on. How about that as a tough out, a win against a very stubborn Phoenix Coyote team. They made a couple of goals, or possibly 1 goal by TJ Oshie, stand up as they win their 5th straight at home. Coming up on the post-game show, Darren Pang will join me on set. We'll get Ken Hitchcock's thoughts as well. Stick around.